say your affirmations. Go. Wake up every day and say your affirmations. Go. Wake up every day and say your affirmations. Go. Wake up every day and say your affirmations. Go. Happiness and kindness is a choice. Make up.
Oh, shook it. Let me check real quick. I have us. If I'm not mistaken, I think I was able to put it on the page itself. Let's see. Yep, there we are. I know it says co-parenting too, but I.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There we go. Is it on the page?
Yeah, I see it. I'm looking at it.
Oh, yeah. Great. And I don't need to see anything else. I'm good. I am good. All right. This is Things That People Don't Want to Talk About, brought to you by me, God Level. I am a nurse. I'm a mother. I'm an entrepreneur. I am everything good. John, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
John Skywalker, the Sly Talker here, lyricist, spoken word artist, martial artist, personal trainer, lover of life, student of psychology, and father. So, during the disclaimer, you guys heard some music. That music is off of my latest album, The Law of Affirmations. I see that it's 10/30/2022. It's going to be released at midnight on all major streaming platforms. 5 tracks. It's a quickie. 16 minutes. Positive conscious hip hop. If y'all know what affirmations are, audience members, if you know what affirmations are, you're going to want to tap into this. You know, I'm going to give you a little introduction on the first track, and then we're going to keep it going. Positive hip hop. I've been hearing it for the longest. We're all complaining about how the music is this, the music is that. It's that way because we support it. So, John Skywalker is here to give you something different. The Law of Affirmations, to be released at midnight on Halloween. 5 tracks, 16 minutes. It's a quickie. I will be releasing another album January 2023, Final Dimension. So, hey, positive conscious hip hop. You want something to represent your sense of spirituality, or you just want something good to listen to, you should plug in, look up John Skywalker on your streaming platform device. Salute.
Before we get started with tonight's topic, we have Miss Ernestine L. Smith. She is here to promote her book. She is an author, a spoken word artist. She is a co-host of the Nubian Queens radio talk show, and she also is on Clubhouse with Word of the Day on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9 o'clock. Ernestine, it's all you.
Hi. Hi, everybody in the world. I am so happy to be here. Thank you, Queen God Level. Thank you for having me on your platform. John Skywalker, the master, my brother, my poetic brother. I am so honored to be here tonight to let you guys know what I have coming up. Well, first of all, I am an author and spoken word artist, as Queen just mentioned. I am so excited to bring you guys my new book. It was birthed by my first book, Bound by Love. Bound by Love is now available on Amazon. You can go to Amazon, Ernestine L. Smith, as you can see, and you can go look my book up, Bound by Love. It's a transition from pain to power. If you ever been in pain, it talks about my transition from being a rape victim, from being suicidal, from having my heart in my hand, from betrayal, anything you can think of, the loss of my children, anything you can think of that will cause pain is my redemption story of how God transitioned me from pain to power. The first chapter starts off with pain. The last chapter ends with happiness. So you got 8 chapters of beautiful, poetic stories in this book, and it will change lives. I'm telling you, I already getting testimonies about how this book has transformed so many lives. So please, on Amazon right now, is available for $14.99, or you can look me up at Ernestine L. Smith on Facebook, or Earn for Love on Instagram. That's EARN, the number 4 LUV. If you want to get this book directly from me in autograph. Now, for my new baby that was birthed out of Bound by Love, is Freed by Love. And let me tell you something, kings and queens. This book, if you ever had a love story, I don't care if it's a toxic love story, if it's a domestic love story, if it's a love story of love and happiness, if it is a love story, this is a book for you, because this book helped me transition from being bound by love to free by love. It's part of a 3 series that I am currently working on. Free by Love is a prophetic book of beautiful poetry that was telling my story, my testimony about how I found love from myself, self-love, a rediscovery of who I am, coming from being bound to freedom. I had to rediscover who I am, and then transitioning to loving me and discovering me and being free to love again. So it's a beautiful written story by me and told through the Holy Spirit. And I pray right now, this book got something for everybody, including the kings, something for everybody. So I want you guys to click on the link. I want you guys to follow me on Facebook. You will see the link. Follow me on Instagram. Right now, I'm doing a special, a pre-order special. You get 2 autographed books for $25. Christmas is coming up. You get 2 autographed books for $25. And guess what? I'm also doing something special. The first 25 people who order their books, pre-order their books, they will receive a free gift from Kings and Queens Crafted Jewelry line. I have collaborated with King Todd Randolph. He has his own jewelry line. So you would definitely get a free gift with your book for the first 25 people. So I thank you all for receiving what I have to offer. This book, I'm birthing it out to the world, and just look forward to be blessed. Bless your wives, bless your daughters, bless your grandmas, bless your aunts, bless your kings, bless your brothers, your uncles, your sons with this book. Everybody got a love story, and everybody's story need to be told. Start with mine. Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. I'm glad that we were able to show some support. We're trying to get rid of the myth that Black people don't support other Black creators, authors, business people. We do. So if you have a business, you want to come on and you want to put it out there, you are more than welcome to do so. Get in contact with me or John Diamond or my brother King Newborn. Them 2 people are not here right now, but we will definitely look over what you have and put you on the next show, and you can have the floor and promote your business.
Thank you. And I just want to do this quick plug before I go. King John Skywalker is one of my poetic brothers and mentor in the world of spoken word. And I shared with him a poem in a book called Black Diamond. And he challenged me with that poem. And because of him, before the book went to printing, God birthed another poem out of me in response to Black Diamond. He was inspired by this king. So John Skywalker is not only part of the book, but his inspiration is in the book. So definitely y'all get the book, because this man inspired me to write a beautiful poem for the king. So it's in there. Thank you.
Thank you.
And he didn't know it was a surprise. So y'all got to get it. Thank you, Queen. I love y'all so much. Thank you. Y'all keep doing y'all thing. I'm proud of y'all. Keep doing y'all thing.
Thank you.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
I love it. You know, John, you my brother. I love you. You just be inspiring people to change, to look within, to pull that creativity out and just put it out to the world. I really appreciate that in you. One of the main things that I admire is that you are a supporter. You can recognize things in people that have yet to see it in themselves, but help them open up their eyes to see it within themselves. So yeah, I love that about you. All right. I hate that we don't have
yeah, right. Hey.
So I was thinking we're going off script tonight.
I'm following you. Okay,
that's great. That's great because we were so prepared for the co-parenting. Hey Dre, how you doing? We were so prepared for the co-parenting throughout the week that a lot has taken place. I don't know. Well, I'm sure you've heard about the shooting here in St. Louis at the school, Visual Arts. We had 2 people that lost their lives. It was a student and a teacher. The gunman was he was shot down and pronounced dead at the hospital. My condolences to the family and friends that lost those 2 people earlier this week. And considering that we are deemed one of the most dangerous cities in the country, I am very proud of the St. Louis Police Department, the way they jumped in and handled it immediately. Like they got the phone call at 9:11. They was in the building by 9:15. And I've watched, I don't know if anyone in St. Louis follows STL News. I followed STL News and I've watched everyone from every, I'm probably going to say this wrong, every principality. Am I saying it right?
Principality, yeah.
Thank you. Show up in droves, jumping out, popping trunks left and right. They did not come to play. So yeah, shout out to them. And then also I've been following, I don't know if you've been following Ye. Have you been following Ye?
I have. I was talking to some brothers about this today, building with brothers about this today, and
okay.
But you already know me. I'm not. Yeah, I'm on a certain wavelength when it comes to stuff like this. So I'm talking to them on the same wavelength. It's like, yo, at the end of the day, at the very end of the day, what does this mean for you, and you, and you? What does it mean for you, and you? Like, all right, yeah, we're observing this. Okay,
I am observing thoroughly right now. I'm just watching. I'm watching everything right now. I read the statement that was posted on Twitter, the anti-Semitic, as they called it, anti-Semitic mark, and I didn't find anything really too offensive by it. Me. But the fact that he woke up the next day and didn't have access to both accounts, to his Instagram account, to his Twitter account, to me, it just sounded like somebody made a phone call and said, shut him down. And I was like, wow. And then for him to lose all of his contracts, even though that was something that he wanted to do, sitting back watching that, I was like, dang. And then to come to find out him and Elon Musk are good friends, and Elon Musk owns Twitter, brought Ye back to Twitter. I'm sitting back watching all of this, and I'm listening to him. I didn't hear all of the interview. I went to sleep. When I say this week has been crazy, did you watch the interview? All of it?
Well, so I watched parts of it. And honestly, it was like, all right, after I'm just different. I'm just different.
It's fine.
After a while, I'm gonna be like, okay, I got things to do. I gotta make some moves. So that's why I'm like, when I pay attention to some of this stuff out here, I gotta ask myself, okay, what is this going to do for me? Because I
How
gotta.
is it going to
He's got his
affect-
thing. I got it. Yeah. So, I mean, I see the conversation going, but
Mhm.
if I'm very transparent here, I see conversation, but I'm not seeing movements. So it just has me wondering relevance.
I'm just waiting right now. I'm just waiting and observing to see, because it's like it's just unfolding. That's what I. It's just unfolding, like one thing at a time. Um, yeah, one thing at a time. Chase, Adidas, and then to come to find out, Adidas. Do you know we have so much? I hope I'm saying this right. Spending power. We can literally make or break a company.
Ish.
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 Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah. But we have that. Yeah. And I'm like, we could do that. Go ahead. Say it, John. We have different
I'm a
views
little,
on it. It's okay.
yeah, because I hear that, and certain folks out on Instagram and TikTok, they make those little videos.
Yes.
I'm not impressed just because they said, like, yo, do the thing that everybody else does, where there's a screen in the background and you pulled up a report that shows these statistics showing this. Just pull up some. I just need to see the data. I hear it from, and I love us, but when I see those videos, I'm like, okay, I'm waiting, and then I don't see it. I'm like, all right, it just sounds like something you heard. So, but this is John. John.
I know John.
I reserve.
I know John.
Yes. John, I'm slow. I'm just slow because I'm like, hey, we'll hop on this fly shit right here, and then realize, oh man, there was a whole steak over here, and we just missed it, right? So I like to be slow about it, but it's just there's certain things that we're not breaking, and we know that there's certain items that we're not consuming in a first world country. So,
you know what? I don't know who's watching the show. Feels like a distraction to me. I was just getting ready to say, I need people to call in with their thoughts on this. Dre, if you don't mind, the number is posted. Where is it? I know we have co-parenting up here, but we're totally off script tonight. Tonight, we're just going to be an open discussion. Real people having real conversation about the things that went on in this world this week. Like, it's been a lot going on. Dre, what is the number? 832-318-6966. It's been a long time since you've called in. Go ahead and call in. I would love to hear your thoughts on this because people are really talking about this. Like, it's trending. It is literally trending. And we, you know what, we could save co-parenting when our brothers get back. We can definitely save co-parenting when our brothers get back. But I just want to know how everybody feels. And then to say that, to go back to one of his statements about them being all in control.
Now, there's something, again, I see the comments too, and I'm sure if Diamond was here, he would
eat this up.
Yeah, because it's almost, but in any case, look, when I hear us say that, it's like, okay, they control what again? They control everything. Everything? I have to ask that too. Everything? We'll do that. We'll make something much bigger than what it really is. This is why I'm like, all right, man, I'm gonna be slow to hop to a conclusion because I don't know that. I don't have evidence of that. It sounds cool, but what does that mean? What does that mean? They control everything. And how do you know? Like, what is it founded on? Is it something that you picked up? I hear it and I'm just like, okay.
It's not the first time that I heard it. It was actually an actor. Oh my God. A good movie. He directed Passion of the Christ. What was the older guy name? Oh, you can no. Let's go back to an earlier movie. I cannot think of what it is. Wallace. I watch it I watch it every time it comes on. It's one of my favorite movies to watch by him. You can take my life. You can take my something, but you can't take my life. Damn it. I remember him being in the street. They deemed him crazy because he was out there talking about the Jews run everything. He was literally going crazy in the middle of the street. And then after that, you didn't hear from him for a while. You did not hear from him for a long time.
I think that's still an interesting statement, because when we say everything, there's like, if you say that to someone like me, I'm like, all right, describe everything. What do you mean describe everything, John? Everything. I'm like, all right, well, I can turn on my lamp without their influence, so they can't control that. So what do we mean? You know what I mean? No, I need you to tell me what everything, so it just seems like this elusive thing. I can't put my hand on it. Now, I'm not knocking that they have surmounted a lot of power. I can't knock that.
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson.
Yeah. He was in the middle of the street going crazy one night. Yeah. Mel Gibson was. And he was basically saying the same thing that Ye is saying right now. I was like, oh, okay. Like it literally, if you ask me, it took one phone call to get him locked out of both of his accounts. It took somebody to make a phone call and be like, shut him down. And he woke up the next morning and didn't have access. Right before the switch off, before Elon actually took over, because when Elon took over, then Elon restored his account. And they, and what is that? I'm watching everything. So it has piqued my interest. It really
Why is that? Why has it piqued your interest? 'Cause I feel like you're a representative sample of everyone else that's interested. So why has it piqued your interest?
Because they deemed him crazy, but if you listen to him, he has some valid points.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that he said, you know what, I'm willing to put my life on the line to shine light on what is truly going on. I love that. And I want to say that, they're saying that a lot of people in his position who wanted out literally died trying to get out. Those contracts. And when you hear the deadline of those contracts, 2030, one was, if I'm not mistaken, I thought I heard 2060, and I'm like, 2060? By that time, that man to be dead and gone. So who wants to be connected to something like that long? The fact that he was saying that they downplayed his success. He's actually worth more than what they say he is. When it comes to Adidas, we made Adidas hot. Ron DMC made Adidas hot. Let's just, the song, everybody wanted a pair. The shoes, the clothes, the stripes, everybody wanted a pair. He's made them a lot of money since he's been with them. And then they dropped them. He made a statement how they bring you in to help be an influence over the culture. And another statement that he made, because I was just listening and I was literally taken. I couldn't say I was taken back, but it was making sense. He was like, if there's a gun in the car and it's 4 black men in the car, all of y'all are getting in charge. But when it's one player out there playing ball, it's only that one player that's getting paid. He made another comment about how, what was that? Okay, I don't know what that was. That if you see me in a tank top and some short shorts and I'm running, by myself in the opposite direction, you would think I'm crazy. But if I got 100 people with me, you would call it a marathon. To me, that was just an invitation to join him. Right now, he's in a position to be able to create his own. He has been in the business for so long. He knows exactly what to do. Distribution wise, if my brother was here, he would kill me. Because I'm talking about this. I know it. Oh man. I'm watching, I'm observing. And he was like, you've already fucked with me so much. There is really not much more you can take from me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah. And that is him right now. He's going up against a world that we all really cannot see because we're not there. I've watched the interview where, what is his name? Charlemagne the God?
Charlemagne? Yeah.
Yes, Charlemagne the God. And they were talking about, he was like, how do you feel about the Jews? He said, I don't even feel comfortable having this conversation. Like he was literally afraid. Hey, there go brother Diamond. Hey family. Hey sweetie, how you doing?
Hey.
He was literally afraid to have that conversation. Is he getting ready to chime in? Because if that's the case, he better just sign it. So he was afraid. He's like, man, I don't even feel comfortable having this conversation. I've watched a guy, I'm not sure who he was. He was on the Breakfast Club, and Kanye made it a point to say that the top 10 songs have derogatory remarks that we are making towards our people in the top 10. And he was like, he said, how many of you all are willing to bet your house that it's there? No one said nothing. And then it flipped to a white guy who was saying that, the way that we're pushing the lean, the fentanyl, he was like, yeah, that's basically a disgrace to society. But he set himself up for failure because their first question out was, well, why do you support it? And he basically told them, I got a family to feed.
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah, I saw a snippet of that.
I'm just,
a lot of us are aware of this now. A lot of this stuff that a lot of us are aware of this, but there's still a question of, all right, we're aware. So what are we doing? Yeah. And that's where I'm at. I'm at that space. Like, okay, we've been aware of this for a long time. All right, why are we acting shocked? What are we going to do about this? We've known for a long time. We're seeing different symptoms of the same thing. It's like any other problem that the species has, that Americans had. We're aware of a lot of our problems. We are aware. What are we going to do about it?
What are we?
So that's the place that I'm at right now with a lot of our issues. Is what are we going to do about it? What can we do about it? I want to have that discussion. What can we do? And so I'm waiting for us to get past the problem part. Because that's usually where we stay. We usually stay in the problem area for an extended amount of time. Yeah, sometimes decades.
Yeah, where we can actually see, okay, this is the problem, but okay, so what are we gonna do about it? Okay.
Yeah, and then someone will come up with a solution, right? Let's just say, for example, I was talking to my counselor the other day. This was like Thursday, and we were talking about conflicting values within the United States. One of them being that we value our children. Our children are the highest priority. And yet in the face of that idea, we still have mass shootings years later, right? And so he says, you would think that for such a high value, commodity, you would consult with the best of the best in terms of security forces, which would be our U.S. Armed Forces. You would consult with them and just say, hey, look, we can't have this happen again. What do we have to do? And then just thinking about like, dang, that would be an extraordinary idea to just push forward. Hey, let's hire these guys to do it. Let's just hire some mercenaries or some retired military. All right, hey, set up a perimeter. They would never get in ever. Like, yeah, you would change, and the kids would never know. Like, they would know in the sense of, all right, when we drive our bus here, you know, we have to go through this. But just an idea like that, to where it's like, yo, you could really solve as a nation a lot of these social ills, but we have a lot of other investments or a lot of other people in power, corporations in power, bodies in power that say, that's not really a priority right now.
Yeah. Thank you, Amina. Amina, I don't know if you've been watching the show. We're talking about Ye right now and everything surrounding Ye. We kind of went off script this evening because it's just me and my brother John. We'll wait till next week to do when everybody comes back to do co-parenting. If you have anything you want to add to the conversation, feel free to call. The number is posted, 832-318-6966. And thank you for that beautiful compliment. I appreciate it. I was nervous, but I guess I'm pulling it off. The air. But anyway, oh my God. Again, I'm observing. And, you know, and I'm not going to lie, TikTok will have you real excited about some shit. It really will. It'll have you really excited. But I'm just observing at this point. And then when I go to regular news, to like CNN or NBC or ABC, and when they get to talking about him, they dog him some viciously. You know, him and his anti-Semitic remarks. And then when you go to the actual tweet, it's like, are y'all overreacting? You know, that y'all are literally overreacting. But that just goes to say that he was right. He said, I can say, you know, any type of degrading things to my own people, but the moment I say something about someone outside of my culture, it's a problem, especially when it comes to you all. I mean, and the way they dropped him for everything, to me, that was just confirmation, you know, of him letting us know who really is in control.
I mean, I guess the underlying question is, I mean, what does that do for all the other groups that are not in the in group that we're talking about here? What does that mean for everybody else? You know, does that mean that we stop conducting business with them? Does that mean we stop supporting them?
Who is them?
Yeah, we're talking about the...
Hold on one second. Who am I speaking with? Hi, Amina. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are y'all?
We are good.
Excellent.
We off script tonight. We are definitely off script tonight.
Okay, well, off script is fine. I've been missing y'all because, like, when October got here, we had, like, a lot of family birthdays and other things. So, like, on the Sundays, I ended up being busy. So I know I had posted it and told you, like, I hope that I can get back to it. I was in the middle of listening to the audiobook, Think and Grow Rich, and then I realized, I was like, oh my God, it's Sunday. So I was like, what are you doing? But off script is fine. And the subject that you're talking about is actually still related to co-parenting, because a lot of what started happening was they started getting heavily scrutinized due to the divorce of him and Kim. And then he started weaponizing, I don't have a better way of saying this, and I love Ye, I absolutely do. But he started weaponizing the discord between him and his wife and his inability to see his children, and he started trying to mobilize the Black community to be against them, the Kardashians, and it's kind of like you helped elevate her and her family and put them on a pedestal, and now Mr. Ye, and I love him, I absolutely do. But now, Mr. Ye, Mr. West, you're asking us, the Black community, to rally behind you when you turn around and did the very same thing that you told us that Black people do, or Black men do. And when he get on, he would be asked for a white girl. And now that she has put it out there on Front Street that you have XYZ mental health issues, now you want to do things that pit us against our own selves too. Because I don't have a problem with him wearing the White Lives Matter shirt. In my opinion, I thought it was hypocritical of Black people to be upset about him wearing the White Lives Matter shirt. Because when we saw white people wearing Black Lives Matter shirts, we were going to invite them to these imaginary cookouts where they could come as long as they didn't bring potato salad with raisins in it. So I don't have a problem with anybody wearing a shirt that affirms the lives of any other race mattering, because in reality, all lives do matter. I don't have a problem with that. But what I have a problem is with Kanye now, as John just said, trying to shed light on something that it's been a problem, but now because you're not on the right side of the conflict, now you're trying to mobilize people and put yourself in a position to seem like you're some type of martyr. It is very unfortunate that he's the target of cancel culture at this moment, but I want him to continue to be who it is that he's been when he's no longer in their disgrace. When he gets back in their graces, because Kanye has done this a couple of times. He's been walking a tightrope of offending people and then some kind of way, like, getting back right with people. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we forget about the incident. You feel me? He's done this a couple of times. And he's been able to skirt and slide right back into, the forefront. And people have welcomed him again with, loving arms. And we've all made passes for a lot of the things that he's done and said before. Because we understand him having mental health issues. We understand him losing his mom. We understand him being, a victim of success, in all honesty. But at this point in time, my real question is, seriously, like John said, what are we really going to do as Black people? Because, see, this is the thing. We can talk all day about, they canceling him because he said something anti-Semitic, blah, blah, blah. That's because they always going to check people that come for them. We are dummies that keep letting our own people promote toxic music and label it as art. All because what? Because they got a family to feed. So at the end of the day, it's the same thing, but it's being done by different people. And, certain people can get away with it because they're at a higher point on the totem pole. And unfortunately for Ye, no matter how much money you got, if there's somebody who got more money than you and they don't want you to have the level of influence that you think that you got, you just gonna be another nigga talking outside your neck. That's it. So my question is for all of us, the ones who don't have the money to get away with doing some of the things that he's doing so that people can overlook us, the ones of us who have been victimized by cancel culture, but on a regular level where we realize that we didn't get a job because of nepotism, but we got pushed out of a job because of blackballing. You feel me? Because I've had it happen, but I've had it happen to me by Black people at an all-Black organization because I didn't fit into the stereotype or I wasn't the good nigga that they wanted me to be in the way of submitting to a point where they could control me. And I was just like, okay, I'm going to have to be fine. And that's why I'm an entrepreneur right now, is because I was working for an agency and because they want me to do what they wouldn't even explain what they wanted me to do, I can't bend to expectations that aren't even fully explained. You don't even have policies and procedures for me to follow, but you want to tell me that I'm getting out of line. Make it make sense, and that's my problem with the entertainment industry. There really are no standards and morals. But whenever we get ready as a collective, or whenever the higher up within the entertainment community gets ready as a collective, now all of a sudden there's some level of understanding in terms of what's righteous enough for them to cancel somebody. And I'm just like, make it make sense. So my question is for us as individuals, how long are we going to continue to sit by and not do the work individually so that we can work within our family unit, so that we can work on a community level to have real spheres of influence. And we're going to have to be accountable within our own selves. It shouldn't take Jay trying to call out the Jewish people who fund the music industry, but yet none of y'all not calling out each other. Oprah Ben said something about y'all calling each other the N-word, degrading women and everything like that. But when we do it, oh, it's art. It's just self-expression. At some point in time, we have to realize who we really are versus who we pretend to be. What's our real essence versus what's our ego. And I feel like for Ye, he is right now, he's still operating the ego and he's still trying to make himself out to be some type of hero. And I love him, but I'm just like, nah, bro, I'm not following up with you because you're not a real leader. You're not a real leader. He is not a real leader. Real leaders are careful about where they're leading someone to. They just want a bunch of followers. There's a difference between a person who's a leader and a person who's got a bunch of followers. Leaders have vision, and they don't have an issue with leading by example. See, instead of him calling people out, he should have started making different types of music, and then we would have some type of hope in what he's saying. He should have strategically stopped being so maniacal and led a better example, lived a better example. Now you're wanting to call people, it's not right. It's not right. You can't call other people out for doing the same thing that you're doing. You want to have freedom of speech. Well, you got freedom of speech at what extent? Now, deal with your consequences. Because that's the reality of the matter. Your freedoms can only go as far as the next person's freedom. Now you're intruding on somebody by saying certain things. You have to realize, like, everything, there is no such thing as absolute freedom of speech. So you have to deal with those consequences, bro. And I don't think it's fair for him, like I said, he turned around, wore the White Lives Matter shirt, and it wasn't because you believe that all lives matter. It wasn't because you believe that White Lives Matter. It's because you want to keep stirring up controversy. That's what he does. He's an attention whore. I love him to death, but I recognize what he does. He got all the attention on him, and then what does he do? He misuses it. He's not a leader. I pray that he develops himself into a leader because he definitely has influence. And that's the thing that everybody who does have influence needs to pay attention to. And as parents, and so my mind is really weird and wild because it's going to wrap it all up back to the co-parenting thing that we're supposed to be talking about, even though we said off the wire.
We said we was off script.
Yeah, we off, but my mind is just still like, because I understand what's going on here, even how it correlates to this. So, as parents, we are supposed to be leaders. We're supposed to have a vision for our family. We're supposed to be selfless enough where we're not putting ourselves in jeopardy, where we can jeopardize the legacy that our children are supposed to be walking into. Do you understand what he's doing? He's jeopardizing his children's legacy. What they will be able to walk into and step into, he's putting that at risk. He's not a good leader. And so he's making Kim's argument that he's not worthy for her to even try to co-parent with. He's validating that and solidifying that idea. So we have to be very careful to get ourselves together on a personal level because we're not in this world by ourselves. There's no such thing as a self-made millionaire, billionaire, whatever else. And there's no such thing as just that one individual. Once you start having some level of influence, and as a parent, you do have influence. You have so much influence. God trusted you to birth a child or to put seed into someone and contribute to this child. Ye needs to grow up, and if for nobody else, he needs to do it for his children. They don't deserve to have him giving the example that he's giving, not just to them, but also because he is a celebrity. We don't deserve for him giving that example and then being manipulative and trying to get us to follow behind him. And that's just my 2 cents. But I still love him, but he got to do better.
You got to do better. Yeah, you got to do better.
All right, I'm out. I'm off.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in. We really appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
All right.
That was well done. That was well stated.
Always.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Got to send my sister some money.
Yeah.
I've been so excited.
Dang, and you know, I spoke on that lightly too. It's like we gotta be careful who we call our thought leaders. And I'm with her as well. You know, at beginning and end of the day, I love Ye. I love what he contributed to the culture, but just more so, I love him as a person. It's just as a person. There are some aspects of him that, you know, I don't vibe with very well, but that's just normal, right? I mean, there's a lot of people out there that, you know, you're close to, and there's certain aspects of their personality, or shoot, it might even just be that they got bad breath, but there's just certain things about a person that you ain't gonna like. Oh man, I don't like how you spend money, or I don't like how you snore, whatever the case, right? I don't like it when you talk, but you love and you respect the person just for being who they are, and they're not just an object to satisfy your selfish whims, right? Kanye isn't just someone who only serves a purpose in providing music in my life. Now, I will say that there's a lot of division over this subject. I follow Talib Kweli on Instagram, and for one, you know, much respect to Talib Kweli, because man, he deals with a lot of trolls. My gosh, and he's been in the trenches. He's been an activist since the beginning.
Yeah,
since as far as I can remember, and he has a very close relationship with Ye. And he's spoken on this several times, even on Drink Champs, right? And you can tell that the brother is somewhat hurt and disappointed, but you know, just observing that in real time, like, dang, all of this has come to the forefront, and I don't doubt that Talib still loves him, and you could just tell that he's still deeply, you know, he's still affected, and he wants Kanye to come out of it. But I think what him, as well as many others, are really calling for is just accountability. Hey, you said these things, man. You gotta make some adjustments here, and we need to know whose side are you on. You know, that's always the question. Yo, you're here, where in a space that we're not, and we're not you, but we're looking up to you to make certain decisions, and not necessarily lead us to the way, but just show us that you're still for us as we've been for you, right? And I think that's just the overarching theme in this whole debacle is, yo, who are you with? Are you with us, or are you with them? We're just trying to figure it out, because you know how it goes, you know. And in our culture, we have history books, we have commentary from some of the most prolific Black thinkers that talk about this very thing, the Black bourgeois, right? As soon as you get to a certain level of success, we all know this. This ain't new, maybe for some, but for the culture, we're very familiar with this. And it's always a question of, all right, you're getting up there. You're getting up there. Are you still with us? You're a little bit higher. You still with us? Yeah. That's always the question, because for our culture, for our people, it's usually about investment. You know, no one can really say, yo, I did it on my own. That's what King Newborn was talking about. You know, we don't ever really do anything solely on our own, especially when it comes to, you know, success on an economic or political level. You need followers for that, right? So here it is. You become, I don't care if it's Instagram famous, you know, you always think your fans, you always think your followers, you always think the group that got you to where you're at. You pay homage to them.
Absolutely.
Right? But then it's we feel as a culture, as a community, we feel like this is just a Black thing. This is not a Black thing. This is not a Black experience. This is not a Black problem. This is a social problem. All social groups experience this to some extent, especially when it comes to politics. You know, the person that was in the grassroots, you know, they were down here with the people, and then they say, hey, vote for me. I'm for the people. You vote for them. You get them in office. And then there's always the concern of, all right, now that you're there, are you doing anything for us? Yeah, here it is. Years later, folks are still saying Obama ain't did shit for Black people. We're still hearing that, right? Even though you could just go out there and just look up the information and it'll show, okay, maybe he didn't do anything for you directly, but he did something, right? So it's that whole thing where people feel abandoned, right? They invest their hopes, their aspirations, they invest finances, they invest action, devotion, commitment, right? They invest in these public figures to lead them to the promised land, right? Only to be disappointed, like, dang, the system got you, or dang, you acting brand new, right? This isn't a black thing. We are all aware of this process. And sometimes it turns out for the best, sometimes, right? But I don't know if it's healthy for us to call this conspiracy, because a lot of the times we don't understand what a conspiracy is and how it truly unfolds. And so we say things are a conspiracy, but then there's the question of, all right, well, in order for it to be a conspiracy, first off, there needs to be an objective that you're aware of, and it needs to be measurable in some way, right? To conspire against somebody, and we say they, like we invent the enemy, right? And this is just a tendency. Some conspiracy theories are actually just conspiracy facts, right? So we do this thing.
No, I'm listening. Go ahead.
So we elevate figures to a certain level of prominence, and then there's a little bit of concern and anxiety because we're just wondering, when are they going to flip the switch on us? And then when they do, we're like, oh man, we fell for the okie doke again. Time to look for another one. And it repeats its process. So at some point, if we're studying the rise to power as tenaciously as we should see a pattern. We should say, okay, there's a likelihood that you're useful up to this certain degree. So let's try to get as much as we can until you get here. Because once you get here, you're probably not going to be reachable. Right. But again, I understand to some extent, I understand our concerns when it comes to Kanye. I just hope that our concerns are a bit more genuine. Like, let's stick with the basics here. Is the man in grave danger? Can we start there? Because we're looking at what's happening to him, and we want to hold him accountable for the things that he said, the things that he hasn't done. All well, right? But can we at least just basic, are you good? What do we have to do to make sure you're all right? Protect Kanye. We'll say something on, that's the thing that we say now. A woman could speak on what other women are doing, toxic women. She could just be spearheading, just calling toxic women out. And we'll say, protect this woman at all costs. Hey, I ain't throwing no shade at that. I understand the sentiment. So we should have the same energy. Yeah, and so
protect Ye.
Yeah. So
it
sounds good. We say these things. It sounds good. I am not anti-culture. I'm like, yo, y'all are giving me all these commands. It agitates me sometimes because it's saying, folks will come off like, you should be doing this for Kanye. We should be all right. You giving me instructions. What are we doing? Because my time and my resources are valuable. I need to see some results. If I ain't seeing some results, maybe we need to calm down until we can agree on what the objective is and what the approach to resolving that objective is. So something like this, I'm like, okay, I see it, but what are we gonna do?
Right.
What can we do? Is this even our fight? Is there even a fight? I don't know. I'm just watching. I see all the fires.
I do.
And oh man, they're bashing Kanye's name. I was like, all right, they've been doing that. That's nothing new. Again, I can go over to some other pages, some C-list, B-list celebrities who experience the same thing, and they're handling it just fine.
It's not. I'm sorry, it's not funny. It's just the way that you said, oh, they've been doing that. They bashing Kanye. Yeah, they've been doing that. What else is new?
Yeah, and he's used to it. Although Although, you know, he picks his fights, but regardless, regardless, it's okay. I see it. Now what? That's one where I'm
for
at.
real facts. Yes, Amina. Okay. Oh my God. I was hoping. I'm sorry. This was my bright idea earlier this week. I thought I was going to have to fight to have this conversation with my brother, but he today is not here. I hope wherever he at, he is. Because you know him. You know that's his. That's what he usually do to get me to. So I hope wherever he is, everything is fine. I hope Diamond, yeah, because we haven't heard from him. I've told people that I'm unavailable on Sunday. Okay, I'll deal with that when I get out. Yeah, my phone. I'm a unit manager, and I try to tell I'm unavailable on Sunday. Now I'm looking at text messages. So yeah. Yay is resilient though. Hold on. Let's go ahead and post it. Oh, you got it? Thank you. He is allowing himself to be portrayed as a victim because right now it fits a narrative he wants us to believe as he works on his next move. I'm curious to what this next move is because I'm really just sitting back watching everything literally unfold. And I'm just like, okay, what's going to be the point of all of this? Where is he going to be at in a month from now? Where's the story going to be at in a month from now? What changes are going to happen now that you've got all this freedom of speech over here on Twitter and everybody feels so comfortable saying the N word? You know, it's like people are just coming out the closet. So yeah, I'm just watching it very closely. It can be a bit entertaining too as well. So, all right, well. We're coming up on an hour and it's just you and I. I don't know what else to talk about. I think are you ready? Did you have anything planned for?
Wait
a minute. Hold on. We can both do a piece.
Oh yeah, we got that time. We do have that time, don't we?
Yeah.
We do have that time. Yeah, I mean, shoot, I'm open to it. In fact, yeah, I mean, I actually got something fresh that hasn't hit anything. It's just a concept. So, yeah, I could put something out there. You can.
Yeah, I just wrote this today.
Okay.
Literally.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I just wrote this today, so it's a little rough because I was trying to get my highs and lows together. But if you want to go first, that's fine.
This is titled A Trauma Tree.
Okay.
A trauma tree. I want it to sound like some sort of study, right? A trauma tree. So I said, trauma is a tree that's deeply rooted in you. Now it's in your seeds and you see it grew as they grew. You try to cut it down just to see it renew. It's Texas hip hop. If you chop it, then you're screwed. I guess my childhood represents the Garden of Eden. Got me wishing that I was guarded from eating the forbidden fruits and consuming the juices bleeding on the leaves of a tree that's stuck in the autumn season. See, snakes live in the grass, but the biggest live in the trees. They teach forbidden knowledge to children who cannot read. Yeah, innocent Eve got the body of Serena Williams, yet she has the mind of a teen. Trauma is a tree rooted in a fertile mind, a fertilized. See, trauma can't grow unless it's fertilized by dirty looks and unconscious fears and watered by depressive fears. See, trauma is a tree. We live in a forest. That's what you call family trauma. Our soil is the poorest, like the one in Mortal Kombat. What are we fighting for? When will we realize we really don't want that? The wind is a trigger. It's ruffling the leaves, bending to its will, low self-esteem, head held high because it's hung from a rope, soon to be hanging by a thread called hope. avoiding shadow work while throwing some shade. You think accountability is a prison you must escape. I went out on a limb to give you some therapy, but you never stick to it. You're always prepared to leave. Trauma is a tree. I pray it don't elevate. The tree of life gives me air. This tree of death takes my breath away like a Derek Chauvin in my neck of the woods, where we neglect our mamas while protecting our trauma. The trauma is a tree. You turn it all into paper to write about the stresses that stem from your oppressors, entertained by your suffering, profiting off the value of your pain. But that blood money never amounts to the healing that you need and the happiness it can't buy. Trauma is a weeping willow, but it can't cry itself to sleep. Mama said, go outside to grab a switch off the trauma tree. She beat you till you were sick. And like a martial artist, she got a kick out of gaslighting you. She said you let her, like Willie Lynch. See, you were just a plant on a plantation, grounded in the past, waiting for eternal damnation. Temporary relief is what you're chasing. But if they uproot you out the jungle, that's gentrification. If a trauma tree falls, it won't make a sound. Water it with gasoline and burn it to the ground. Salute.
Salute. Really, John? I should have went first. How am I supposed to follow up behind that?
Oh, shoot, man. You've been doing it before. Shoot.
No. Because, I'm still new to this. I know, snaps. Amina, how am I supposed to follow up behind that, Amina?
With your piece, whatever your piece is, just ignore the first piece and just go. Just go.
Okay. Oh, my God. Okay.
Yes. Just go.
Do you know who you are? Underneath all those scars that have accumulated over generations of hard times. Brother, you are divine. I'm shocked you can't see what I see when I see you. And when you look in the mirror, you still can't see what I see in you. Your eyes is open, but your soul is closed off from the truth of you that's in you, from the stories they sold to you. They said you was a slave and God was outside of you instead of within you. My brother, you are divine. They attempted to kill you before they could be you, separate you from your history before you can learn you, take you away from your family before they can teach you, beat you, then hang you as they celebrate the death of you. My brother, you are divine. Take a step back, look around, take your time and expand your mind, and there you will see their crime that keeps you in darkness of the truth that's already within you, awaiting your acknowledgement so you can go back to the true you, the real you, before they brainwashed you. My brother, you are divine. From the beginning of time was man, woman, and child. Now comes Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, counseling out the knowledge you need the most, reducing her image down to her portal, knowing she is the most high host that has given birth to every race that boasts about themselves, yet without her, there would be no toast. My brother, you are divine. They took you from your homeland, not knowing your people were already here. They made you build up this land. They continue to instill fear in you, and even fear from people that look like you against you, to ensure you will never rise. My brother, you are divine. They ruin your life with money and fame. Put their women in your place to keep you tame. The moment you step out of line, they call you insane, assassinate your character, then look you dead straight in the eyes and tell you you only have yourself to blame. My brother, you are divine. They have taken some of our women and put them They have taken some of your women and made them their own, placed them in powerful positions so you would always feel unequal at home. An upset imbalance will have you leaving the home. Boys raised by men that shouldn't be left alone to do it all by themselves, yet they glorify the task until the mask falls off and they realize that their thinking was trash. Reduce your counterpart to your parts because all you see is her ass. My brother, you are divine. It is time for you to take your place. Open your third eye to the true you, the real you, the God within you. We are not a race. We are gods among men, and they have no say. It is time to wake up and take your place. Stop being used. Stop being used to abuse our people, our souls, our ex-state, or the next generation will take our place. In the line of the lost, begging to be found, oblivious to the fact that we as the people wear the crown. My brother, we are divine. What just happened? Okay.
You ended us off on a positive note.
I did.
Yeah. Yes, you did.
I did. I wish I had more time to kind of like go over it to hit, because I feel like I was making,
yeah, you good.
I needed more time to go over it. You know, I just wrote this morning. Like,
but you're good though. Yeah, that was solid. Yeah, you read it like,
but
conviction.
I did, but I was making some mistakes. It resonates.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you made some mistakes, we didn't catch it. And that's another thing that a lot of people don't realize when you're a performer. Everyone doesn't catch all the mistakes. And even if they do, they just want you to finish.
Really?
Yep. Yep.
I did end off on a soft note. I usually hit hard at the end.
Shout outs to Jeremy the Fighter. Thank you for chiming in with us.
Yeah, and thank you for the suggestion. Oh no, it was the girl. It was somebody else because we got that page now up. Thank you.
Shout outs to Amina for chiming in with us.
We appreciate
Thanks to Andre for chiming in with us.
Diamond.
Yeah.
Diamond. We thank you all. We appreciate you all. Can we go out on that one song you played?
Hold on. All right. So, all right.
Yes.
Which one?
The one you played for me and brother.
All right. I think that was Pentagon. Right. Pentagon. I think it was. Hold on.
If I gotta hear.
I'm in our shade. I am cause we are. I'm in our shade. I am cause we are. I'm in our shade. I am a black mirror that is spotless. I am cause we are. I'm in our shade. I am cause we are. I'm in our shade. I am cause we are. I'm in our shade. I am a black mirror that is spotless. I am cause we are. I'm in our shade. You already know that health is wealth, so I am wealthy. I am heaven sent. That is my aroma when you smell me. The piece that I cologne you, a fragrance with a trillion. I'll let you take a sip and pass the bottle to my children. If you are ever sick of me, I am the penicillin. I am nothing less than brilliant. I am more than your opinion. Yeah. I am improving in every way. I am reborn every day. I am an old soul, but a new man. I am ageless, I am courageous, I am considerate, I am legitimate. I am the way, the truth, the light, and if not, I am the equivalent. I am stress-free, word to K-Dot. I am gonna be alright. I am cause we are. I am you in another light. I am cause we are. I'm in our shade. I am cause we are. I'm in our shade. I am a black mirror that is spotless. I am cause we are. I'm in our shade. I am cause we are. I'm in our shade. I am cause we are. I'm in our shade. I am a black mirror that is spotless. I am cause we are. I'm in our shade.
I am the universe. Ancestors of all Buddha, Jesus, and Jehovah. I am that voice that shakes you out of your sleep until you pull over. I'm the air, star, sea, and the moon. Close your eyes and inhale and exhale so we can be in tune. I'm the magic pulsating of a womb. I am the one. I am that melanin that protected chosen people from the sun. I am the truth magnified and embedded in your DNA. I am the positive police and the excuse killer. I am everything you need and want me to be. Now repeat this hook because it confirms the affirmation to the words I'm about to say.
I am cause we are, I'm in our shade. I am cause we are, I'm in our shade. I am a black mirror that is spotless. I am cause we are, I'm in our shade. I am cause we are, I'm in our shade. I am cause we are, I'm in our shade. I am a black mirror that is spotless. I am cause we are, I'm in our shade.
Hopeful that one day we will all be free, living in a world of tranquility. Nothing up our sleeves but some open arms that are welcoming. Challenging you to live your life in peace and love, and show the world that we are more than capable. We can be one. Under the sun.
I am a black mirror that is spotless. I am cause we are, I'm in our shade.
I am him. I am he. I am she and I am we. I am love. I am lust. I am trust and I am truth. I'm you. I'm powerful. No peace.
I am cause we are, I'm in our shade.
Hey.
Yes.
So
Send me the link.
if y'all are rocking with that, right? If y'all are rocking with that, look up John Skywalker. Look up John Skywalker. Oh, wait.
It's another one you got on here.
Oh, yeah. There's another one I got on. Yeah, there's another one.
It's another one you got on here.
Yeah. Tree. Affirmations tree.
Go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna have this one playing in the background.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So, John Skywalker. Look up John Skywalker on your streaming platform device. Doesn't matter if it's Apple, Tidal, Amazon Music, Spotify, Pandora, right? It's gonna be released. This album's gonna be released at midnight. If you're like, man, look, I need that joint right now. In fact, give me a moment. I'm gonna put this up right here.
Because I was trying to write your name in. Go ahead.
Let's see. Let's do this. I'm gonna post this real quick. JohnSkywalker.bandcamp.com.
Yeah.
JohnSkywalker.bandcamp. So, in fact, I'll go ahead and just give this straight link for it right here.
There it is.
Okay. All right. Let me also put this down as a banner. All right. Just in case y'all need to see it and it's not popping up in the comments. Right. So JohnSkywalker.bandcamp.com. John Skywalker. All that right there after John Skywalker. Like, that's just the album and all that. But if you can look up johnskywalker.bandcamp.com, you can go straight to it, buy the album straight like that. Or if you already got a streaming platform that you're committed to, that you're already paying a subscription to, yeah, you could just look up John Skywalker. Look up John Skywalker. You will see this as well as the other projects. Yeah.
And the official album drops in January.
So this one was like a snack. This one was a snack.
What type of martial arts do you do? He looking you up on Apple Music. He looking you up on Apple Music right now.
Yeah, Taekwondo. Taekwondo. Yeah. Taekwondo. A little bit of boxing, but it's mainly Taekwondo. Yes, sir. Martial artist on the mic, martial artist and everything. Right, but the album drops officially on all streaming platforms at midnight on Halloween. But if you guys want that right now, you got to have that right now. JohnSkywalker.bandcamp.com. You can go straight there. You can purchase it from there, or you can also stream it. But yeah, what I found is most people like to stream it. So I'm with it. As long as y'all are.
I like to just buy.
Yeah. Hey, if y'all want to support these artists out here that are, making music, the best way to support them is buy their merch, attend their shows, and buy the albums. Buy the albums. Don't stream the albums because we're getting fractions of a penny. For me, it's not about the money. It's not really about the money. It's about putting out the resonance, the frequencies, the energies that I feel like our culture needs to receive. So that's what my brand is all about. That's what me and my artistry is all about. It's about expressing myself, just putting out those energies that I feel like we need to hear in hip hop. I feel like we're still pretty we're still kind of immature in a sense. We're developing, we're getting there. But a lot of lyricists, rappers out there kind of like ahead of their time, and the rest of us just needs to catch up. So yeah, I'm so glad that we got one person like, yo, that's hot. Let me go ahead and get that. Because man, it'd be tough sometimes making this, and it's just like, yo, I'm trying to make something that's, socially conscious, spiritually enlightening, and y'all are like, nah, that shit whack, man. Like, what? This is all right, man.
I don't know why it's blinking off and on. That gets on my nerves. But yeah, there you go. It's my screen. I don't know what's going on. We are an hour and 16 minutes in. Again, I want to thank everyone for stopping in on tonight's live. We were definitely off script tonight. We will do co-parenting next week when my brothers come back, Diamond and King Newborn. I hope King Newborn is okay wherever he's at. I know he's a truck driver, so or he probably just been tired and needed the rest, which is fine. We all need our break from time to time. I want to thank everyone for stopping in and watching us tonight. Amina for calling in. Jeremy Fighter, thank you. Appreciate you. Hope you enjoyed the music in the background. The link has already been posted. Again, thank you. Dre, and we will see you all back here next week. Salute.
I got us.